Hello and welcome to the movie podcast review of It Was Just an Accident. This is TIFF 50, and we are here with you talking about some of the great TIFF movies. Of course, my name is Shahbaz. I'm from the movie podcast, and I'm joined by my other comrades here, Daniel and Anthony. Daniel, how are you doing today?
I am doing so well. I think we are, I'm going to say it. I think this so far, the movies that we've watched at TIFF, the 4 films, which again, I don't know when these reviews are coming out, this has been the best TIFF so far out of the gate. It's 4 for 4 fantastic films.
Yeah, 2019, I think, was that last year that we watched TIFF films where we were like, oh, banger, banger, banger. And now this year, it's really starting to feel like that. A lot of surprises are coming out. And, wait to see how we feel about this one. But Anthony, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I was going to say it took 50 years for TIFF to get 4 bangers, but that doesn't make sense because they've actually had quite a bit of great films. But no, it's been a really long time. Like 2019, I think, was the year that we last really enjoyed TIFF with Joker and Ford versus Ferrari. Dune was also that year, right? Parasite. So that was
Dune was 2021.
Sorry, that was the COVID year. My bad.
Yeah, that was the COVID year. It's all good.
But like this year has been really exciting, and I think it's good for the festival because they've been needing it for a very long time.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's always been like really great films at TIFF, but I think because we watch so much now, because we are covering it as media, sometimes you watch like 30 movies and you're like, not all of them are going to be amazing, but you know what? 4 for 4 is not too bad. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Or our tastes in films have changed drastically.
They've gotten better.
I feel like that's a big thing. Like TIFF 10 years ago for me, a lot more immature and a lot less like an idea of what these films take to make and what goes behind it. So I would say like our tastes, our palette has been upgraded.
Yeah, and I think just being able to watch films at a festival, a lot of the films from other countries. Again, we, the last year we have mostly just watched large release films, right? Blockbuster films, big movies coming to theaters that are getting distribution in, thousands of theaters. These are not the films that are going to be doing that yet. So I definitely think you're right, Anthony. I think it is an elevated palette that we can, sit on our pedestal and judge films now. We just need a little cigar to do it as well.
We also don't, kill ourselves by watching 40 films a day during TIFF. We really like to make sure that we're enjoying our time, because I think if I was doing like 12 films a day, I'm hating like 90% of these movies at that point.
12 films a day is wild. That's something. Didn't somebody break the record last year?
Yeah.
Wasn't it somebody last year that broke the record for
don't know why
for the amount of movies they
that.
watched?
but
Yeah. Well,
we'll
get that. I'll get that stat. I'll get that stat for the end of this episode.
Please.
So we don't get derailed too much. Yeah.
Please. But like I mentioned in the beginning, we are talking about It Was Just an Accident. This is by director and writer Jafar Panahi. And, it's a film coming straight out of Iran. And I believe, where else, sorry, Daniel, you mentioned before, where else was it originating from as well?
This film would be Iran, France, and Luxembourg.
Okay, I like how you gave a little spice to Iran there. That's great.
Yeah.
Iran.
Now we're just saying Iran.
I don't like how you're saying Iran. You're saying it like Jafar. I don't like it. And not Jafar,
like
the director.
Godfrey?
Sorry, I meant like Jafar from Aladdin.
Right?
Hold on. I just realized. Jafar. But this is a film that actually won the Palme d'Or at Cannes earlier this year. So we're really excited going into it. I remember us seeing the trailer and just being kind of blown away by it.
Now, before we get any further, I did promise that I would get the stat for the most films watched at TIFF during the festival, and this was achieved by Eric Tisch. Any guesses on the amount of films that Eric watched at TIFF?
120.
130.
You guys are like way off. I mean, this is a 10-day festival, okay? This is not physically possible to do that. They watched 78 films. 78 films in the span of 10 days.
My first guess was 66, and I was like, let me just go with something that's double that. 78 is too many. Like way too many films. I don't know. Are you enjoying movies at that point, Eric? Eric, if you're listening, let us know. We could be wrong.
That's like 8 movies a day. That's like 8 films a day, just under 8 films a day. That's
and most of these films are pretty long. They're pretty long.
Yeah, they are long. So again, just like the intro before our review, where it was just an accident, it's a little long in the tooth for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why you're throwing shit at me there, but
no. It's more because I'm the one who's making this longer. No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm the one. It's not you.
It was just an accident.
I'm so sorry. It was just an accident, man. I love you so much. I'm so sorry.
No worries. So a quick little synopsis on It Was Just an Accident before we dive into our first reactions. A small mishap triggers a chain reaction of ever-growing problems. Now, it's a great trailer. Like, if you have a chance to see the trailer for it, maybe don't watch the trailer because I feel like going into this movie blindly helps a lot about how it is. But definitely do some research into director Jafar Panahi because their story and their history of making films, but also being from Iran, is very, very interesting. And it really helps paint the image of the movie that you're about to see. So, Anthony, if you could please do us the honors and giving us your first reactions to It Was Just an Accident.
I know you just said don't watch the trailer, but I kind of watched the trailer before going into this. Because
watch that trailer.
I needed to know what it was about. Just because, TIFF films, you never know.
But now, don't watch the trailer.
But now,
after
because
listening
you're
to
listening
our review,
to us, because we're giving you the right information.
Exactly.
This movie was, when I did watch this trailer, it was an interesting trailer because you didn't know much about what it was. It's very vague. You got a guy who's digging in the desert. Looks like he's digging a grave, and it's like this ragtag team of people in a van, and they're just trying to get somewhere and figure out who this person is. And that's really what this trailer is. Very vague, very like mashup of scenes put together. But when you get into this movie and you understand what it is, it's actually a phenomenal film. It's a harrowing film at times. When I watch this movie, as I've journeyed with these people to discover what happened to them and the tragedy of their lives and how they live with this PTSD of the torture they went through is pretty shocking. Like how Jafar captures it. It's a dark comedy, but it's also very sad. Whenever you see something like this, especially that ending, whenever you see, comedy being used as a suppressant to tragedy, it's so much more tragic, right? Because it's like this normal human reaction that we have when we see something that's absolutely terrible. You sometimes kind of laugh, right? And that's the only way you can kind of get over it. But yeah, like this movie was it was very interesting, very eye-opening to the events that happened in Iran at that time and still do. I think for me, the journey of following 6 of these characters as they go on this adventure of figuring out if this person is who they say they are or if they think it's this other person was really, really well done. And I found myself at times just, like it's one of those movies that we want to know more of after the end. You want to know why the director decided to go this way. And learning about Jafar's story is, you'll see it, like you'll understand, like this guy has been in jail multiple times for telling the stories that have happened to his people in this country, and how he takes that and puts it onto the screen for everyone to watch. It's beautiful, but it's also very, very sad.
Yeah, I think, you're touching upon the idea of this movie being a dark comedy, and that's, I think, like one of the best ways to describe it, because there are moments in this film where I'm like, should I be laughing? Because I think this is funny, but it feels so personal. You can tell that Jafar literally put all his pain into this film of what he's experienced in his life, being in Iran and going through what that system was for him. And you look at the tension that this film gives you, the characters that it brings you. And I'll be honest, I think I can safely say maybe for the first, 15 minutes of this movie, I had no idea what was going on. Like, okay, I'm here for the ride. Let's see what's going on. Because you're very confused. There's no direction given to you. And as you start to follow along the journey of these characters, you just start to kind of feel so much pain for them. You're literally going through this roller coaster of emotions, from laughing really, really hard to damn near crying. You're just getting this distraught feeling throughout the entire film. It's a beautiful looking movie. It has a great score, but the characters are really what you're sitting there for, because each one of them has their own quirks. They have their own connection to the story. They're all united by a singular experience, but it's how that experience affected them and how it changed the course of their lives. And you're getting to see that as this film goes on. Without understanding any Persian, really, I was able to just kind of get an understanding of where these characters are from and where they're going and what experiences went through their life to kind of get them there. It's such a beautiful, beautiful movie, and it's such a powerful film. But more importantly, it's a very important movie, because it's not only teaching you about what has happened in that country, but it's really giving you the whole PTSD of war and what effects that it can have on you. And I'm not gonna lie, this is a mystery throughout the entire film until the very end. I mean, even at the end of this film, when everything kind of wrapped up, I was still kind of sitting there like, okay, but is that really still what I think it is? Like, is that person what they say they are? And, I don't know, like, yeah, maybe they were, maybe it's just like, the story about getting to that point of like disbelief, or getting to that point of where you're like, I'm just going to do whatever I can to survive. And maybe that's kind of where the story kind of leaves you. But yeah, it's a movie that I still keep thinking about. It's a movie that I'm really excited for it to be officially showing at the festival, because I think a lot of people are going to walk out of this one just shook for so many reasons.
I think it's inherently funny to have a film where you could, your whole life, or for how many years that, this person has done wrong to our main character, and all you're thinking about for these years is, I want to kill this person. And then when you finally get that moment, you're unsure if it's them or not. And I think the premise of that, it's true. Like, we're watching this, and like this person who is, who's about to be killed, they have done horrible things, but you're also just like, I can't prove it. And it is, and it's the dark comedy of this film that Jafar balances so well, that you're like, okay, I want to kill this person. It's a dark moment when you see this happening, but then you're like, but I can't 100% tell that it's him, so I need to bring somebody else into this. And now this person who sees, now they can't tell either. They're going to come on my journey. It's like you're playing like Final Fantasy or something, that you're meeting a new person, they're joining your party as you're going on. Now we got to go to the next person. Can you confirm that it's him? Oh, you can't. Okay, now we're having this huge, truckload of people, all with the singular goal of not wanting to see this person alive anymore. But the hijinks that follows them, you can't help but laugh at the situations you get into. Not that this is a straight up comedy or they're telling jokes. It's the absurdity of the situations that these characters are finding themselves in that you cannot help but laugh at how crazy things have gone. And it also makes you think about, their journey of revenge and wanting justice and vengeance, but really it is revenge for the torture that they've gone through, that this person has inflicted upon them. And I think Jafar has made such a beautiful film that I have not been able to stop thinking about. A film that long after the credits have rolled, you are going to be kind of sitting there, and just like Shay said, was it him? Was it who they wanted it to be? Or did we want to so bad, after everything that we've been through, it has to be this person? It's confirmation bias. It's like, it has to be this person because we've been wanting it to be this person this whole time. And that's the question that this film is going to leave you with. And I think what Jafar has done so well, obviously, is bring his voice to it. Bring a voice of someone who has been oppressed and silenced and imprisoned by his own government to speak out against that. And I think this is what the power of a film can be. It could be entertaining. It could be touching on serious and dark and really messed up subject matter. And I'll leave that for the film to present itself to you. But you could also learn something from this. And you could learn about what Jafar has gone through. And this is the story, I think, of so many Iranian people who have gone through this, and then so many parts of the world where these unspeakable and diabolical things have happened. you could speak to that through arts. And I think when you have a director like him who has been so silenced, I'm not surprised why there have been so many directors and artists and activists who have spoken out to free him, to want him to be able to speak true to his art and showcase that, because that is how the world gets better. I think art heals people. And I think the more people that watch It Was Just an Accident will hopefully have their perspectives opened up. I think it's a fantastic film. It's beautifully shot. Like Shay and Anthony also said, the first 10, 15 minutes of this film, you're trying to wonder, where the hell are we going? I did not watch the trailer for this film before going into it. I had no idea what it was about other than the director and some of the, I guess, the run-ins with the authorities that this director has gone into. So I've gone in with a little bit of the context of what, hopefully with the message she was going to bring to this film. But I left watching one of the year's best films. I left watching a film that I will be thinking about for a very long time and will be on the list of movies that people need to watch, because it is fantastic. It is dark and harrowing, but it also is surprisingly funny and something that I think so many people will get so much enjoyment out of, but also put them on a path of wanting to know more about the voices and the voices that are silenced in so many places of the world.
And this movie really doesn't rely on a score either. Maybe I can't remember, but I feel like there was no score. It was all sound design for the majority of that film from beginning to end. It was pretty. It was interesting because you're building your scenes without scores to create that emotional connection, but the visuals and the storytelling invoke those emotional connections. But there are sound design and sound elements that are just, that ending. And if you watch this movie, that ending, that sound is such a gut-wrenching sequence. And when you hear it and when you see it, it's so like it just gives you shivers, because it's like it was almost, it became a horror at that point. Where the sound, and I'm going to be very vague with it, the sound was very engrossing when it happens. But I think when you don't have a score and you're using sound design, especially for, I don't know what the budget is for this film, and the production value and what they can go through and what they had to do to shoot it. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, it's a movie where I think when Daniel and Anthony, you guys both touched on, people that have gone through this experience watching this movie, it either might be a healing experience for someone who's been in these same shoes, or it's going to open up that wound again. But I would hope that it unites and it makes you feel like you're seen, because again, so much of what these people go through is awful. And the things that these people are trying to do, not to justify murder, of course, but you can tell these are not bad people. What they're doing by not just killing someone right away and really trying to figure out, is this person who they say they are? That journey that they kind of go on, you get to see all sides of their personality as well. How good they are, how bad they are, what their lives have kind of led them to. And you fall in love with all the characters. I don't think there's a single character in this film where I was like, oh, I don't like this person, or, oh, I like this person more than the other. They're all very unique, very interesting, and they all bring a unique perspective. And I think that's really just Jafar's eye, the people that he's probably met in his life that have experienced this as well. There's so much personality that you're drawing in. And yeah, it's really damn good.
The path to revenge for this group is not as easy as I feel like it would have been done if it was like in a North American environment. Like this is not like bloodthirsty revenge. This is something that just they happen to fall into, and they don't know what to do. They have their memories of what happened to them. So it's not like this tit for tat experience of, well, eye for eye. You tortured me, I'm going to kill you type of thing. That's a struggle that you see in this film as it prolongs, like even to the point of the end where it's like, what do you do? What can you say? What actions can you perform? So it was really eye-opening for sure.
Yeah, I told you guys, after watching this, I was getting a little bit of I was like, I was thinking a lot about Inglourious Bastards, and I was thinking about that scene of, Brad Pitt speaking to one of the Nazis and like, what are you going to do like after the war? And he's like, oh, I'm going to take off my uniform. I'm going to burn it, or I'm going to bury it. I'm going to do whatever. And it's like, that's what I was scared you were going to say. I was going to do my Brad Pitt and Glorious accent, but not the time. Gorlami, I guess it was the time. But it's one of those things where I see like the uncertainty of life, of like putting these people on the path of each other again. They could have been anywhere in the world, and for that one accident to bring these people together, that one circumstance, that one happenstance to happen that put them back in each other's crosshairs, it's really fascinating. And again, and that's why I was thinking a lot about Inglourious Basterds, where it's like you have these characters who are, they are on the side of what they believe is right, and then afterwards it's like they just are trying to live normal lives. But it's like, how can you live a normal life after you've done the things that you've done? And I think they're really, I really, again, like you think about sometimes these moments in life where it's like, oh, that's too good to be true, or it would sound like such a plot convenience. I'm like, oh, of all the places in the world, these two people meet. Yes, because that does happen in life. And I do believe that, these things will happen in life and can happen in life. So it's just, again, just for one small little thing, the snowball that is created and that comes of it is really spectacular to see how it all kind of unfolds in this film.
Now, because it's TIFF and we don't know how these films are coming out, if they're going to be in theaters, if they're going to be coming out streaming, whatever, we like to kind of give our final thoughts on the film. So, Daniel, please let us know. What are your final thoughts on It Was Just an Accident?
It Was Just an Accident is one of the best movies you'll watch this year. I think it's something that you're going to be thinking about a long time after watching the credits, and hopefully it will open you up to more of Jafar's films. I know it has for me, and I want to explore more about him and his filmography, just to learn more about the side of the world that he's coming on and what he wants to speak out against. But yeah, fantastic film. If you're able to watch it at TIFF, I definitely recommend you do so, and watch out for it wherever it does come out down the line.
I absolutely echo those statements because, yeah, it's fantastic. It needs to be watched. I think you're going to be in for such a ride along with these characters, the dark comedy elements, the mystery elements. It's going to be lingering on your mind well after the credits are done. And I'm sure you're going to be wanting to show it to other people, because this is that kind of movie. When you show it to somebody else, you're watching their reactions while also picking up new elements from the film. Anthony, please take us on a ride in this van as well.
I echo those statements. Triple echo.
Echo.
Hello.
Yeah, no, it's funny, it's thrilling, it's horrific, it's dark. Like, it has all these genres in one film, but it's just telling the story that I think a lot of people are unaware of. And I think when you get to watch stories that open up your eyes or introduce you to things that you don't know, I think those are the best type of stories. And what Jafar did was absolutely beautiful and harrowing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on our TIFF 50 reviews. Again, we're going to be dropping a lot more reviews. We're seeing a lot of great movies here at TIFF. The festival is one of our absolute favorites. If you see our show notes down below, you'll see all the links on where you can find us, follow us, and even join our Discord. If you happen to be at TIFF this year and you're like, whoa, that looks like Daniel. Whoa, that looks like Shahbaz, or is that Anthony?
I'm wearing a disguise now.
That's true. He's always wearing a disguise.
I'm going to wear a disguise.
If you see us two and another tall man, it could be Anthony, it could be somebody else. But come up and say hi to us. Don't stab us or punch us, because we are not fans of that. So yeah, come and say hi. And of course, that was This Time with the Movie Podcast. And you'll see. Whoa. Let me try that again. And that was This Time with the Movie Podcast, and we'll see you next.